Well, I tried to position myself in a place where you could come find me. However, with this job that checks all the check boxes of a highly toxic work environment, because they use the totem pole system, is the biggest problem. Basically, nobody wants to work here, nobody wants to stay here when they come in, and I could go through all the signs of a toxic work environment, but it became highly obvious when nobody was happy here. And I've, of course, received sabotage from the very beginning from groups, especially the ones being run by the girls at the bar sleeping with the kitchen. And so it caught on to what was really behind the biggest amount of workplace bullying and gossip and slander and what was behind it. But of course, as always happens in a toxic work environment, being gaslit by the ones, totem pole toxic workplaces, who they attract are people that are power hungry, abusive, and there's never any encouragement to balance out all the instruction and reprimanding. If you know, I don't have to go through it. But I did not go through this whole long journey to get stuck in a toxic work environment where I'm just supposed to bend over and take it, and everything's my fault and everything's my problem as the new employee. I don't think that's how it works. I've never ever worked at such a negative place in my life, and I tried to hang in there till you come save me. I can't wear lift shoes, so I'm in line for plantar fasciitis surgery if I were to stay here. Next week, had planned on actually getting a better job that's more in line with my gift, skills, and talents. I outserve someone that's just bossing me around and taking much pleasure and enjoyment doing that, because as it works in narcissistic vampirism, they receive power for actually treating people like they are below them. And I don't know, I've started restaurants, I've been the lead server. Businesses I started were not toxic. They're places that people work for a long time and everyone's treated equally. But anyways, I sure need my life saved, because being on the bottom rung of the totem pole in a toxic work environment is not helping me get my clutch. Doesn't matter how much experience you have or how skilled you are, you're going to get cut. And basically the totem pole system actually encourages laziness with those that have been there the longest, and you do their job too, or you're not allowed to stand up for yourself at all. That's considered disrespect on your end if you stand up for yourself at all whatsoever. If you let people know that you have worth, value, and intelligence. You could be hustling. I mean, other places I recently worked, I've been given high praise and honor, like in Nashville, A+++ work ratings, so anyways, it's dumb and it's ridiculous, and I was hoping my prince could find a horse his leg worked. God, if I'm not allowed to use my gift, skills, and talents this entire lifetime, I'd rather have my clutch and brakes going and being able to gypsy around and camp in the woods. But I position myself in places so that you can come find me, just to get targeted whenever I'm at a place just long enough for the ones that have been working against me to find me, put their negative black magic witchcraft out in the air. As somebody that's excelled highly in fine dining service, it's not anything I wanted to do with sling beans anyways, but it was a means to an end, and I was told that I would get a open mic night, which I'd been working on, and all my tables that love me and leave me good tips and love notes, they were pretty excited to come see me, but unfortunately, if you're the type that's a strong professional woman, you're just gonna basically, if you're not willing to just bend over and take it and be the slave as the new employee, you're not gonna be treated right. And so I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen with me. But I do know I deserve justice, recompense, and restitution as much as the next person, and that I have the leadership skills to actually manage places that are non-toxic, where leadership is respected, where people aren't talked down to, and where everyone doesn't show up to work miserable. There's not a whole lot of catty, cliquey gossip and drama and mistreatment of others. As a single female, I know where it comes from. It's definitely not the first time I've experienced it, but it's BS. So I don't know where my miracle is, but it's well past due, and there's a lot better use for my life than putting up with abusive behavior at a workplace. So I've never had to, and I have to go, contact HR for the third time. I've barely worked here very long at all, and what you focus on is what you get more of. If you focus on treating people like it's their first job, and I was treated far more respect and dignity even at my first serving job in 1996 at the Olive Garden. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that I was electronically allowed to get into this place. There were red flags from the get-go, but I don't have the liberty and the finances and the operating car to make a change right now. And I'm worth a lot more than this. I don't know where you are, why you haven't shown up yet. I've been awfully patient, and I've done everything I could on my end. And I hustle. And I do things in a proper order. I take care of the guests first, provide them with impeccable service, and then I do whatever work I can after. I go clear other people's dirty plates off of their tables that are in positions of authority. Can't even serve right. But nobody actually ever notices anything good you do at a toxic workplace. They just want to point the finger at you and let you know what piece of crap you are, basically. But it's always your fault. You're always the problem if you're not in management at a toxic workplace. It's super funny that the people at the lower part of the totem pole with me and the normal people don't have a problem with me. It's just the abusive leadership that does. So anyways, I feel like I've gone back, even regressed to before college. It's unreal, and I'm sick and tired of being sabotaged at jobs. And I'm highly skilled and highly talented and have a lot of experience and leadership skills that should be being utilized. So it's about time someone stepped in for me, create a position for me. I knew that I had to have this experience to basically treat me how not to manage people. It was like a reminder of that. Just like when we started our child care center, basically what we did is we did exactly the opposite of the crappy one my sister had come from, and we excelled and succeeded. And it's basically the same thing here. If you basically just did everything the opposite way, you'd have a great work environment. So, I don't know. I don't know what's to come of me. But I definitely could use my miracles that are past due. I definitely could use some justice, recompense, and restitution. And people that have had their eyes on the situation, they know the truth of things. So, whatever. Because I'm going home. I don't know if I'll be going to work tomorrow because, I don't have non-slip shoes. I'd have to go waste money on, shoes that I would not wear. That will basically, with tile floors, put me back in the operating room, but I don't have the luxury or the finances to have 3 months of bed rest to see if it gets better, and then 3 months of bed rest after to recover from a plantar fasciitis surgery. Oh man. When you set up environments like this, it only attracts people that are unskilled. Nobody wants to work at a place like this with any experience or dignity. Whatever. Going home. You probably should show up, because I don't know where I'm going next. But this got real hairy and real ugly real fast. I outserved the guy that had a problem with me last night. Maybe that was the problem. You know, we talk shit about my work, but like the funny thing isn't how late we were there, but the funny thing is the fact that he couldn't clear off his dishes, put all the dishes in the silverware, you know, needed to be done last minute. So they're just as crappy. They're not crappier. Take our abuse, or else you're the problem. Yeah. What's a girl to do? I keep believing in miracles, but they never seem to happen. What's up with that?